Welcome back to Chakra Free Radio. I'm Gopal.
I'm Ray.
We'd like to thank you for joining us for this episode today, titled The Slap Scene Round the World. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing the infamous incident that occurred at the 2022 Oscars when Will Smith went up on stage and smacked Chris Rock. Now, before we get into the details of the episode, we want to start with a statement up front, which is that this episode is not meant in any way, shape, or form as a critique or a judgment of anyone involved. Life's complicated. People are complicated. We're not sitting in the mind space of the people involved. And sometimes these things happen in the heat of the moment. Mm-hmm. I think if there is a goal for this episode, it's maybe to look at it from an analytical standpoint and maybe just see what lessons all of us can learn from it.
Mm-hmm. I think people make mistakes. They're bound to make mistakes, and you just grow from your mistakes, and that's a part of being an adult and just growth in general.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be the same person. Like, Will's probably not the same person.
Yeah,
after,
even
like
3 years later. Yeah,
before he did it and then after he did it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we also want to acknowledge up front, just when we talk about Will Smith, Chris Rock, I mean, these are amazing entertainers, amazing performers. Icons, yeah. And, we just want to say up front that they've brought so much joy and happiness into the world. They've had such great performances, and whether it's been film or in other venues.
Yeah, even Jada.
Yeah, and Jada's too.
She's a part of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've all had amazing careers. I think I think it's really especially worth acknowledging for all of them as minority performers, and having come up in an era in the early 90s where, I mean, it's still hard as a minority performer to break through, but back in the early 90s, I mean, you had to be the best of the best of the best in order to break through.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of them in their own, like in terms of Will and Chris, in their careers, they at one point reached the highest of plateaus. You know what I mean? Like, Chris had to overcome Eddie Murphy at that point.
Yeah.
And then Will had to overcome, obviously, probably Denzel.
Yeah. But I mean, again, in this case, I mean, Eddie and Denzel, great performers also, right? For all of them, I mean, they were all very, very talented.
To reach over those men, those guys, it's not an easy feat.
Yeah. And I think personally for Ray and I mean, Chris Rock and Will Smith, I mean, they've had such iconic performances, as you said. I mean, is there anything that stands out to you when you think back with either of them?
I forget what stand-up I loved Chris Rock from. There was a one I can't remember, but I mean, you got his roles in Grown Ups.
Yeah.
I love his roles in Grown Ups. He probably had other work. Can't really remember off the top of my head. I mean, Will is my favorite actor of all time. So.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So Pursuit of Happiness, King Richard, I Am Legend. Like, those are like top tier movies for me.
Yeah.
Like, those are for me, they reach GOAT status.
Yeah. Yeah, we were passing some clips around before the show.
Day.
Independence Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were passing some clips around before recording, and I actually think we went to see this movie, Bad Boys 2.
Probably Bad Boys.
Yeah, Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. I mean, that scene with Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the boyfriend who comes by.
Yeah. Yeah. As an uncle, I've always wanted to do that or whatever, because I have 2 nieces, but I always wanted to do that and just make it's just like you would want to do that with your best friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just scare the guy that's coming over to see your daughter or whoever.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, Chris Rock. So I've been to a lot of shows in my time. This here is a ticket stub from 2004. Chris Rock performance. I think it was at the Orpheum. Yeah, it was at the Orpheum. I've been to a lot of shows in my life. I've hung on to very few of these.
Yeah.
I hung on to this because it is by far the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
Really?
Yeah. And it was to the point where I thought my diaphragm was going to give out, like I felt like I'd run a marathon after the show because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say for Chris Rock, no one can describe human genitalia the way Chris Rock can.
Yeah.
You know?
Chris is fire.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of comedians, he's personally like pretty. I like him more as an actor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, spectacular show, man. I mean, again,
he's top 5 for me for comedian, but
actor,
he's a little bit more up.
Yeah. So now we got to turn to the incident.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2022 Oscars, watched by millions live, watched by hundreds of millions after the fact, thanks to the internet. I've watched the clip a couple times. Ray, I'm just curious, like your gut feeling or reaction when you've seen the clip.
Was it fake?
Was it fake?
Yeah, I mean that's what I originally thought. I was like, is this a skit? Yeah. Is this a part of the show? Is this a skit? I mean, when they veer off and show the second angle of him like approaching Chris, and Chris is like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm not expecting this. I was like watching it the first time. I was like, "Oh, this might be a skit," but then seeing it the second time and seeing Chris's face, like actually, like, "Yo, he's actually approaching me."
Yeah,
and then he does it. And it's like, what was going through Will's mind?
Yeah. So for context, Chris Rock was hosting the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith and his wife Jada were in the audience, and Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's lack of hair at the time,
alopecia.
And she was suffering from a medical condition. And, you know, he made his G.I. Jane joke, which, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say whether, you know, I don't know. Sometimes personal health issues can be a touchy thing, but one thing, you know, maybe a little bit touchy to bring up. It seemed like at first Will actually laughed.
Yeah.
When he made the joke. You know, Jada wasn't laughing. But, you know, I don't know. Ray, what's your thought? I mean, was that, to you, like, was it a vicious joke, or do you think it was like just in the moment kind of thing?
I mean, I've seen, like, Jada make fun of her own hair.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen her make fun of herself. I just think it was like a combination of things. Like, should Chris have done it? No. I feel like Chris has poked at her a couple times before that. So, like, I think that's like what it stems from.
Yeah.
Was it worthy of a slap? No. Maybe, like, should Will have waited till the show was over and then checked Chris? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Will, you know, as we talked, like, Will probably was. He's gone through a lot in the past, like 5-6 years.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. And for me, when I watch the clips now, I mean, I have like, it's a very painful thing to see.
Yeah.
You know, like when you think about the consequences for everyone involved.
Yeah.
It's just hard to watch. I know a lot of people out there may get a lot of, you know, vicarious enjoyment out of it. But for me, it's just, it's painful.
Yeah. I mean, for both sides, like, it was a detrimental mistake for Will, but then also, like, Chris Rock just got slapped in front of millions of people. That's got to be an ego shot.
Yeah.
Like, as a man, he degraded.
Right.
In a way. You know what I mean?
Right.
It ain't a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, the tragedy now is that this event has become such a big deal in the minds of people, and it's in some ways it's come to define everyone involved, right?
Yeah.
You know, for Jada, Will Smith, and Chris Rock now, this is like in people's mind space, this is probably the first thing that comes up when they hear any of their names now.
Yeah.
You know, and like I hadn't even realized that you know, Will Smith was up for an Oscar that year, and he won for King Richard, and I didn't even know he won. Yeah, I wasn't even aware that he'd won an Oscar.
Yeah,
you know, that's how much this incident overshadowed it. You know, it's tragic, and not only that, but you know, even, you know, aside from their amazing careers, they've done so much work in the community. They've done a ton of charitable work. You know, again, in people's minds now, they're always going to have this association with the slap.
Mm-hmm. Will's probably never going to be up for an Academy Award ever again.
Yeah.
Because of that slap. But
you know, I think he's banned for 10 years.
Oh, really?
He's not even allowed back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Grow from the mistake.
Yeah. It's an interesting question because we want to emphasize we don't know everything involved
Yeah.
with the people, right? We don't know what kind of hurt Will was dealing with in his personal life. You know, sometimes people do crazy things for love or when they feel like they've been disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, have you had moments like this yourself that have not been played out in public?
Like between like
Well, just, you know, I don't know. Has there ever been a time where you just wanted to slap or, you know, did slap somebody?
I mean not like I mean playfully, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never like that. Like seriously where I'm like doing like I would never degrade somebody like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been pushed to that moment, but I'm not a fighter or anything, so
Right.
yeah, maybe just playfully, you know what I mean? Like we just slap boxing each other.
Yeah.
As kids, that's what we used to do.
Yeah. One question I have for you is, you know, Will Smith's, you know, he's got this persona as the nice guy, right? He's taken a lot of what you might, you know, he's had a varied career, but he's had a lot of what you might call family friendly roles or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, built up that image. Personally, I think if this had been a circumstance where somebody had insulted or joked about Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra's wife, and then gone up there on stage and smacked the person, I think the reaction might have been, oh, you know, good for them for protecting their wife, you know, their wife's honor.
Yeah.
You know, are we holding Will to a different standard just because of the image that he's created?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, is there like racism that plays involved in that scenario?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I think the bigger thing is that Will's got this wholesome image. So, you know, so now he's.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, everything we see of Will is like wholesome. I don't consider Will a bad guy.
No, absolutely not. Right. But then, again, that's what I'm, you know, this question of, you know, he's got this image, right? This incident happens, which is against the image. Or do we penalize him more just because, you know, we have this image in our head of what we expect Will Smith to act like?
Probably, yeah. Because he's not supposed to do stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of us, Will was like our role model.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
It's like that and The Office are like my comfort shows.
Right.
Like when I need to rewatch something.
Yeah, the Carlton dance.
Yeah, I go back to that. I mean, Will is like an integral part of like shoes for us too.
Right.
You know what I mean? In a fashion sense. You know what I mean? Like watching him, seeing him wear the Jordan 5s on Fresh Prince. Like he wore like almost every shoe like was around that time. Like we was like, yo, we want to dress like Will. We want to be Will.
Right.
And then yeah, I mean he was like our big brother and then turned into our like father figure.
Right.
Like in roles. You know what I mean? Because we seen him grow up from what, like he's probably like what, 18, 19 on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
So you seen his whole life. I mean, that's just a hard thing to do in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just grow up in front of the cameras.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were talking a little bit beforehand, but just, you know, this idea of, you know, for people in these very, very public positions, you know, they've got the acting persona and then they've got their real life.
Yeah.
Right. And at what point did the two start to blend so much?
Yeah.
Where the person maybe is not, you know, doesn't get to fully be who they are because they have this public persona that they've got to maintain. And sometimes maybe the public persona starts bleeding back into their personal life also.
Yeah. When we were talking earlier, I felt like that. Like when we was talking, I was like, sometimes it sounds like he's acting.
Right.
While like in interviews and like, I mean, just what we see on social media sometimes. Like it feels like that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But like, I don't know, man. It's just something about Will I just love. Like whenever I see him do social media things, I just be like, dude, that guy he's just amazing. You know what I mean? Like his laugh is contagious. His smile is contagious. Everything about him is contagious. And just seeing him bad in that light, like you know, you have a little side eye to him now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Which I think is unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody's allowed, like I said, to make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, maybe just one last thing before we turn to a little bit of a different angle on the topic. These are all, people who are in the public eye. And I think to some extent, there's a question of when people in public are behaving in a certain way, I think there's a natural tendency for a lot of other people out there to say, hey, if respected, accomplished people are behaving like this in public, maybe it's okay for me to do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But we're not worth like 500 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't just, if we slap somebody like that in the middle of the street, we're probably gonna go to jail.
Right.
Right. We're probably gonna get an assault charge.
Yeah. So we wanted to take the conversation maybe to the more spiritual aspects of this, and I think there are genuine lessons to be had from this. So first, one interesting anecdote about the incident. So Chris Rock, at the time he was up there and when he got slapped, he was about to present the award for best documentary. The documentary that ended up winning is called Summer of Soul, directed by Questlove from the legendary group The Roots.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out Questlove was in the audience and he was nervous before the announcement, and so he was practicing meditation while he was sitting there in the audience. So at least one person in that building was in a calm state of mind when that incident happened.
Mm-hmm. If only Will.
Yeah. And we'll turn back to Will specifically on this, but I think there's this was obviously something that played out in the public eye, but I think there's this question of how many of us in our own day-to-day life have had the thought at any point that you just want to go and smack somebody in the face.
All the time.
All
the time.
All the time.
All the time, man. Yeah.
Now, obviously, we don't want people to do it physically.
Yeah, no. Would I ever do it? No.
Yeah.
But I think about it, yeah.
Yeah. But
not smack in the face, maybe smack in the back of the head. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people thought about that to me, like, like when I walk slow in front of them going to the train station, like smack me in the back of the head, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is I think this is an aspect of a lot of spiritual traditions which is tough for people to grasp, but even the thought of committing an act like that is a problem.
Yeah.
Because it implies that within the mind there's still this seed of violence that is kind of there latent and ready to pop up.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I've had this just like you. There's tons of people I've wanted to smack in the face, and I haven't done it, but
yeah, no, I would never put my hands on anybody intentionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you think you could ever get to a point where the thought doesn't even occur to you?
Maybe, but like I think there's a difference between like a thought like that and then actually doing it.
Right.
Like, I think you're a different type of person for any type of violence. You know what I mean?
Right.
When people have like try to like put their hands on me, it's always like turn the other cheek for me, unless they're trying to like really, really hurt me. You know what I mean? Obviously I gotta defend myself, but like never like doing anything first to anybody.
Right.
That's just not in my nature.
Right.
So everything that I've ever done physically or like violently was like to defend.
Yeah. For me, another important lesson out of this is that it doesn't matter how rich or famous you are. Like contentment, is not going to be an outcome of those factors. And in fact, in some ways, maybe the richer, the more famous you are, the less content you are, because there's more opportunities for.
I mean, I've seen Will say that himself, though.
Yeah.
That he's not happy, even though he has all the money in the world, and his family's still not happy.
Right.
So it's coming from him, and he's
living it.
He's
right?
worth over a lot, over a lot.
Yeah.
I don't even know the number. I know it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say even more. I mean, there's only a handful of people on the planet with, who are more famous than him, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a very but it doesn't seem to bring lasting happiness, right? And I think
Mm.
it's an interesting thing because I think a lot of us are chasing whether it's money or fame, and that's kind of the primary motivation in life. And yet we see again and again with so many public figures that it's not there. And even when they tell us that it's not going to lead to permanent happiness, we still we still chase after it.
No matter what person it is, I think all the money in the world won't change the fact of wanting and feeling love.
Yeah.
And at least from what I've seen, what Will strives for, from what I've seen and what I'm trying to like process through.
Right.
Like from his childhood and all that, he just wants that love.
Right.
Like, I mean, because I read some of his book, a lot of it was it's just him wanting to be accepted by his dad.
Right.
So you could see that, and maybe that correlates to, Jada saying that Tupac was a soulmate.
Yeah, which is
this is just crazy.
Yeah, that was,
what I
I
mean?
mean, that's kind of a crushing
Maybe
thing,
like it correlates to like he's replacing his dad with Jada.
Right.
Like he wants that love, and he's still not achieving it.
Right. Right. Despite all the success he's had, he's still not achieving it. Right. Which is a hard lesson. And, maybe just in the heat of the moment that all just comes bubbling up.
Again, that was just my theory. It's not, it might be real. It may not be real. It does not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just a person analyzing.
Yeah. And so one of the aspects of this that's really interesting for me is that Will Smith has actually been studying a lot of spiritual texts, and in particular the Bhagavad Gita, which is considered one of the more important texts of Hinduism.
In that, not to cut you off, in that interview, he tells Jay that
yeah, this is the interview with Jay Shetty.
Yeah, he tells him that him and Jada have read almost every spiritual text.
Right.
Together.
Right.
So he's pretty like he's studied basically every text there is.
Yeah. Yeah, and from the public comments he's made on the Gita, it seems very, very clear that he's taken the study of it seriously. I think B, internalized a lot of the message, and C, has kind of looked at his own life and compared it maybe to what the standard is. It's the classic problem of the problem is in the application to your daily life, right? It's one thing to read it. It's another thing to internalize it. It's something entirely different to actually apply it in daily life, in particular in very, very difficult situations.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, and just to be clear, Will's not alone in this, and I'd say in the Hindu tradition in particular, there's a long history of sages and saints who've, achieved a lot spiritually, who have momentary lapses and commit like sometimes horrific acts.
Yeah.
Right. And this is, again, described as maybe part of the long-term evolution of the soul, where, even advanced individuals may have moments where things get out of hand.
Yeah. That just makes them human though.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't make them like a bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had a moment.
Right.
The only thing is that it just amplified like on a magnifying glass by like 100 times.
Right. Right. And again, that's the point. I think a lot of us are having similar incidents.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith. It's just, and Chris Rock, but it's just not televised to hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah. Will's a better man than me. I wish I could, I can, but he could process all that stuff. Like,
right.
Like he could read that stuff like that and he can memorize it because he's, that's his gift.
Right.
You know what I mean? As an actor. Like I wish I could process all that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you process faster than you give yourself credit for.
Like the thing is, I think reading and then just like living it are two different things.
Yeah.
Like I know how to be whatever, good, do good. Like I don't have to read it, you know what I mean? And in terms of like Will, like he can read all this stuff and all the time. And yeah, he obviously applies it, but I think there's two different things. like I'm just a regular person.
Yeah. One of the major lessons from the Bhagavad Gita is there's a repeated stress on the end goal being a state of equal-mindedness. So equanimity in all circumstances, kind of no matter what's going on around you. So I thought it was worth, I'm just reading a quote from the Gita, and this is from chapter 12, verses 18 and 19. He who is the same to friend and foe, and also in honor and dishonor, the same in heat and cold, pleasure and pain, free from all attachment. He who is alike in praise and blame, is silent, content with everything, homeless, steady-minded. Such a devoted soul is dear to me. Now that's Krishna delivering that message. Now I'll mention it. The text mentions the word homeless. It doesn't literally mean homeless, but not being attached to a particular place. Now, this is a tough philosophy to put into practice on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
To truly be equal-minded regardless of the circumstance, right? And this is the philosophy Will's studying, and I think he's internalized it, but the difficulty is in the application.
Yeah. I think he's applying it. I just think that, I don't know, man, that if he could take that 10 seconds back, I think he would.
Yeah. Well, listen, maybe the flip side
Does
is
that make him less though of a spiritual person or whatever, or like less of a good person?
Not to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I hope that, in these last 3 years, that he's at least apologized to Chris, like face to face. So I think that starts the process. We won't know. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't think there's report ever came out, but
well, and I think there is a flip side to this, which is that we all have a chance to learn a lesson from this, right? So maybe this one incident, maybe there's a few people out there who say, "Hey, I don't need to repeat the same mistakes," right?
Yeah.
So maybe
there's two though.
What do you mean?
Well, don't do the mistake, but then Chris Rock, because he turned the other cheek.
Yeah,
I'm serious. He did. He turned the other cheek.
Yeah. Well,
he could have easily threw a punch back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think he's gotten him back a little bit in other public forums, but yeah, you're right. He could have chosen physical violence, and he didn't. Yeah.
They're all things.
Yeah. I just hope at some point, sometime in the future, Will Smith and Chris Rock can just sit down together, shake hands, and say, you know what, like we killed it. We were the top. We were at the top of our game.
Yeah.
We beat the odds, and we were the best at what we did.
Yeah.
I hope they can have that. I don't know, maybe they have, but
yeah. I just sometimes I think that we don't need to see everything.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Like I would hope behind closed doors that two grown men could sit down and have a conversation or a call or whatever. And we don't ever need to know. The only people that need to know are them two.
Right.
Them three. God.
Yeah. Well, what about the fourth, Jada? Does she need to know?
Jada don't need it. Well, maybe he need to apologize to Jada too.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Jada don't need to be there for their man-to-man conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs to have that on the side and do that on his own time.
Yeah. All right. Well, so for our donation today, it's going to be to an organization called Comedy Gives Back, which provides support for comedians struggling with mental health, substance abuse, and financial challenges. Maybe in some small way we can help the community out. I mean, this is certainly a world that could use a little more laughter these days. So.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to the Laugh Factory?
I have. Yeah. Every time I've gone to live, I'm always amazed at how good the performers are.
Yeah.
And they could be like not famous performers or whatever, but
yeah. But you can see the craft.
Yeah, and people really put their heart and soul into it, and it's like an amazing thing to watch.
Yeah. Seen my best friend, I seen Marlon Wayans 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Marlon's not known for comedy. Like he's just doing it now, like stand-up comedy. He's known for obviously his famous roles in in movies, but man, I was laughing, man.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm such a voices and movement and face person. Like sometimes I don't need to hear the joke.
Right.
Like voices, somebody like mimicking like a type of person or whatever, and like doing hand motions and things like that is what really gets me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
More than say a person like Chris Rock, like he's thoroughly like in the dialogue of what he's of what he's about to say.
Right.
And it's all for Chris, it's all talking. It's like he don't have like hand motions, or he's not really like making fun of people like that.
Right.
Like voices and stuff. That's really not his like forte.
Yeah.
But that was a great show. But I do want to go to Laugh Factory though, and like see more. Just see like just anybody, man.
Yeah, we should go together sometime.
Yeah, I'm down.
We're overdue. Yeah. But again, every time I see comedic performers performing live, I'm always blown away.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a skill I just don't have. And it's an amazing thing to watch it.
Yeah, being up there for like an hour, nonstop.
Yeah,
sweating.
Yeah,
and just talking. That's like.
Yeah,
any performer that does that, like singers, like rappers, anything that's hard, bro.
Yeah. Well, with the comedian, there's no backing band. There's no visuals. That's just up there.
It's either they get a laugh or they don't get a laugh.
Yeah.
And they might get a boo if they suck.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got our minute of unconditional love. Ray, I'll give you honors here.
Oh, you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
All right. I think you sat through it the whole time. I didn't. I looked up. I said, like a good 10 seconds left when I looked up.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, other than I hope Will and Chris and Jada have a chance to sit down and enjoy themselves together sometime.
Yeah.
Put this all behind them.
No more entanglements.
Yeah. Yeah. Important lessons. Yeah.
Whatever word she used.
Yeah.
Piggybacking on what we've been doing, I've been giving a little quote or a lyric or something that resonates with me or whoever needs to hear it in the moment. And this one is, don't fall in love with success, fall in love with the habits that bring success. So whoever said that, I don't know who did, but whoever said it, I appreciate you for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's an important lesson there is in that, and this is actually, again, something even the Bhagavad Gita stresses, which is that, you're entitled to the work, but you're not entitled to the outcome. So, to that point, I mean, put the work in, but don't get too attached to whether it's worked out or not.
Yeah. Just build upon habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know what good habits are and what bad habits are. So I hope you do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for today.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us. So until next time, this is Chakra Free Radio signing off.